You're listening to the N2K Space Network.
AI is transforming every industry, but it's also creating new risks that traditional frameworks can't keep up with. Assessments today are fragmented, overlapping, and often specific to industries, geographies, or regulations. That's why Black Kite created the BKGA3 AI Assessment Framework to give cybersecurity and risk teams a unified, evolving standard for measuring AI risk across their own organizations and their vendors' AI use. It's global, research-driven, built to evolve with the threat landscape, and free to use. Because Black Kite is committed to strengthening the entire cybersecurity community. Learn more at blackkite.com.
Today is December 9th, 2025. I'm Maria Varmazis, and this is T-Minus.
T-Minus. 20 seconds to LOS T-Drift. Go for deploy. Roger, roll.
Valerian Space Ventures has announced investments in 3 companies that they say are positioned at the center of a fundamental shift in how America builds, powers, and operates critical infrastructure beyond Earth. 4. Space infrastructure Mantis Space has selected Albuquerque, New Mexico for its headquarters and advanced R&D manufacturing facilities. 3. Muon Space has been awarded a $1.9 million Small Business Innovation Research Direct-to-Phase 2 contract by SpaceWERX.
2.
The Soyuz MS-27 crew has returned safely to Earth.
1.
And the U.S. Senate Commerce Committee has voted to advance the nomination of Jared Isaacman to lead NASA.
0.
Our guest today is Dr. Michelle Hailey, Director of Global Affairs at Solamed Solutions. I'll be talking to Dr. Hailey about a series of roundtables that they are hosting to discuss bioethics and space medicine for commercial exploration. Stick around to find out more about that after today's intelligence briefing. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Let's dive into it. The U.S. Senate Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation has voted to advance the nomination of Jared Isaacman to lead NASA again. This vote this time brings him one step closer to becoming the NASA administrator, clearing the way for his full Senate confirmation. Now, again, we can't get too excited. This has happened before, back in April, to be precise. And back then, it was all stalled as the U.S. administration then withdrew Isaacman's nomination. This time, though, it is hoped that with the bipartisan support that Isaacman has, he will get confirmed before the next Artemis flight in the spring. So what's next? As we mentioned, Isaacman has to pass a Senate vote. The good news is that it is the final vote, and it's believed that it will likely happen in the Senate before the congressmen leave for Christmas. And during his testimony in front of the committee last week, Isaacman promised to bring, quote, urgency and extreme focus to the mission by working with the best and the brightest at NASA to lead humanity's efforts to unlock the secrets of the universe and to ensure American leadership across the last great frontier. Staying with NASA news now, the Soyuz MS-27 crew returned to Earth on schedule overnight. NASA astronaut Johnny Kim, along with Roscosmos cosmonauts Sergei Ryzhikov and Alexei Zubritsky, wrapped up an 8-month science mission aboard the International Space Station. They made a parachute-assisted landing at 10:03 a.m. local time today, Tuesday, in Kazakhstan, after departing the space station aboard the Soyuz MS-27 spacecraft a few hours earlier. Muon Space has been awarded a $1.9 million SBIR, or Small Business Innovation Research, Direct-to-Phase 2 contract by SpaceWERX. The contract supports the Space Development Agency's efforts to enhance missile warning and tracking capabilities in low Earth orbit. Muon will develop a novel variant of its multispectral electro-optical infrared payload for the SDA. Muon says that its solution leverages its proven quick beam scanning payload architecture, which was originally designed for global thermal detection, and adapts it for high-sensitivity missile warning and tracking applications with enhanced resilience and cost-effectiveness. The payload will feature advanced infrared sensing capabilities and a dynamic scanning architecture that's all designed to mitigate emerging threats. Space infrastructure Mantis Space has selected Albuquerque, New Mexico for its headquarters and advanced R&D manufacturing facilities. The company, which was founded in Kennesaw, Georgia, is building orbital infrastructure to deliver power directly to on-orbit assets, such as satellites, habitats, and lunar operations. Mantis Space's planned facilities, projects, and staff are estimated to create more than 200 local high-tech, high-wage jobs, helping attract additional space companies and highly skilled talent to the area. The company is currently preparing to fully emerge from stealth early next year, and we do look forward to hearing more about them. Beleriand Space Ventures has announced investments in 3 technology companies that they say are positioned at the center of a fundamental shift in how America builds, powers, and operates critical infrastructure beyond the Earth's surface. Antares Industries, Samara Aerospace, and Valar Atomics will each receive an undisclosed amount of funding from Beleriand to support their expansions. Antares Industries is engineering modular transportable microreactors that are designed for rapid deployment in contested or austere environments. These systems provide resilient autonomous power for defense operations and critical infrastructure. Samara Aerospace is developing high-precision spacecraft platforms with advanced attitude control technologies that enable unprecedented on-orbit agility. And Valar Atomics is scaling nuclear energy for heavy industrial power and hydrocarbon fuel production. And that is it for today's Intel Briefing. As always, you can find out more about all of the stories that I've mentioned for you in our show notes in your podcast app, as well as on our website, space.n2k.com. And T-Minus Crew, in case you didn't know, we do post links to every episode of T-Minus Space Daily, along with the major headlines, on our LinkedIn page. Just look for N2K T-Minus Space Daily on LinkedIn and then click follow to get our episodes and headlines directly in your feed, every weekday and on Saturday. A lot of us are spending quite a bit of time on LinkedIn nowadays, I know I am, and surely a daily space intel briefing from us would be maybe a nice little break from yet another year-end think piece, right? Right. N2K T-Minus Space Daily on LinkedIn. Tap that follow button, and thanks.
Most environments trust far more than they should, and attackers know it. ThreatLocker solves that by enforcing default deny at the point of execution. With ThreatLocker Allow listing, you stop unknown executables cold. With ring fencing, you control how trusted applications behave. And with ThreatLocker DAC, Defense Against Configurations, you get real assurance that your environment is free of misconfigurations and clear visibility into whether you meet compliance standards. ThreatLocker is the simplest way to enforce zero-trust principles without the operational pain. It's powerful protection that gives CISOs real visibility, real control, and real peace of mind. ThreatLocker makes zero-trust attainable, even for small security teams. See why thousands of organizations choose ThreatLocker to minimize alert fatigue, stop ransomware at the source, and regain control over their environments. Schedule your demo at threatlocker.com/N2K today.
Our guest today is Dr. Michelle Hailey, Director of Global Affairs at Solamed Solutions.
So with Solamed, they're really guided by the commitment to improve human health and performance through cutting-edge technologies, including personalized medicine, making sure that reducing risk for future explorers, right? And so we have 3 verticals. So one is consultancy, the second is education, and then the next is operations. So the fact that Solamed is bringing together the larger community of former NASA and space officials that are outside of the agency, it's a way also to create opportunities for innovation. We can do cross-cultural collaboration. And we're actually in the process of launching a 7-part roundtable series for bioethics and space medicine for commercial exploration. And that's really continuing to shape global dialogue, right? Which is culturally rich, as it is scientifically advanced.
And there's a phrase that I read in your bio, and also I think you've mentioned a few times that I love about cultural intelligence.
Oh my gosh, yes.
What a great phrase. And I'm wondering about in the context of organizations like Solamed, and also when I'm thinking about the many conversations I've had about space, given the show that I do, there's a lot of discussion about how space is for Earth and how it benefits the people. But, the obvious elephant in the room is that a lot of space is still overrepresenting certain parts of the world and underrepresenting a lot more of it. So the idea of cultural intelligence in the realm of space exploration is so needed and so fascinating to me, because it just feels like we have so far to go on that.
Yeah, for sure.
I would just love to get your thoughts on maybe making more culturally intelligent space programs, or programs that benefit space exploration. I'm sure that's a lot of what you're doing right now.
Yeah, for sure. And one of the things that it's really about education and exposure, right? And so and part of it for me, which I'm excited about, is to be able to take some of the things that we're doing and leverage what we're doing at Solamed, right, with the global space medicine partners, ensuring that we have success across diverse operational environments, right? So part of the thing is creating different platforms that kind of speak to different communities, right? So with cultural intelligence is just that, being intelligent and being mindful of how other communities operate and what relates to them, right? So being able to put some systems and things together that are going to identify with people from other cultures, right? And then being able to expose them to to these different things. So that's the thing that I'm really, excited about, is that, whatever we have in place, it's like, okay, let's look at it and see how we can tweak this culturally to, to a Nigeria, or to a Kenya, or South Africa, or, like other parts of the world. And then once we get that, it's like, okay, now that we've tweaked it, let's expose these particular communities and these particular people to to what we're doing, because exposure is really, a lot of it, and giving opportunities.
Yeah.
Because if people aren't exposed and they don't have the opportunities, then they're not included.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I imagine it's also the learning that's done by organizations on perspectives that maybe weren't obvious before. Yeah.
For sure.
So it's absolutely learning that's going around.
And I want to also, just commend Dr. Sarah Lynn Mark, who is the president of Solamed, for having this vision. And she loves to bring people together, smart people together, people who have vast experience, to really do something that we're passionate about and that we love, and being able to collaborate. So I really commend her for creating that space and opportunity. Pardon the pun with the space, right? But creating the space and the opportunity, but also bringing the right people together, to give us the opportunity to make it happen, and for her to be open to say, like, yeah, like, put your ideas, like, let's be creative, and, and not kind of putting a ceiling, or just putting boundaries, on what it is that we can do. So I'm just really grateful for her to give us the platform and the opportunity to do that. So
absolutely.
mhm.
Dr. Hailey, could you, by any chance, give me maybe an example of some of the kinds of things that you're working on right now, or just to get into some of what you're talking about, just maybe something more concrete?
Right. So I mentioned that we're doing this 7-part roundtable series, right, with the bioethics. So that's kind of the like right now, really what's kind of on the docket, right? And so it's the series about the bioethics and space medicine for commercial exploration, right? And our goal is to continue to shape kind of a global dialogue that's more culturally rich and scientifically advanced. So that would be an example of something that we're like currently actively, really doing. And so part of it too is it's like once you start getting the conversations and the dialogues going, you get so much rich information, out of that. And so from that, we can utilize that information to kind of um, navigate what we're going to do with next steps. And it'll help us to know what is needed, right? What we can do more of, what we can change, what is expected, what is needed.
So that's amazing. And I would imagine it's both, aside from, it makes logical sense, it also improves long-term outcomes.
For sure.
Yeah, like effectiveness, right? When that's what I would imagine anyway.
Absolutely, for sure. And so we're really excited about it. We're still, doing pulling a lot of information together and that kind of thing. But I'm excited to see kind of what comes out of, having these dialogues and, this conversation as it relates to, these particular, this particular initiative. So, I mean, there are a number of other things that we're working on for sure. And one of which is, like I was talking about, building the relationships. So we're also reaching out and building relationships within the space community, people who have been a part of that, but also, in the educational space, because, that's kind of my sweet spot. And so everyone has their own arena and network that they're plugged into. So it's really continuing to build those relationships and let people know what we're doing, and to see how we can bring people into what we're doing and, get them excited and on board as we are, right? And so, that's the other piece of it too.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Hailey, it's been really wonderful learning a bit about you and what you're working on and what you've been working on. And I want to make sure I give you the last word. If there's anything you want to leave our audience with, anything at all, you have the floor.
Well, Maria, listen, thank you so much. The only thing that I would really just kind of leave with folks is that, we're all human. We all live on the planet. We need to be able to work together and to just kind of have a mindset of the collective, right? We've gotten into a place where, people are very siloed. People are very, inwardly focused, right? But if we get outside of our boxes and, look around and just, have that humanity, for others and work together so that we can have kind of a better world, have a better experience. And, it's a beautiful thing because when I've traveled all over the places that I've traveled, it's like the bottom line is the same. People want love. They want to be respected. They want to feel a part. Right. And so if we can just be able to, in our own world, like within ourselves individually, within our own communities, and then just kind of reaching outside, I think then that will just make the world better, for us as a collective.
We will be right back.
In Walmart's Hulu-ville, time was ticking away. Only a few nights left till the big holiday. But last-minute gifters had no need to worry. Walmart Express Delivery got their gifts in a hurry. From Nintendo to Nespresso and Lego Flowers, they could check off their lists in as fast as an hour. All of Hulu-ville, East, West, South, and North, could order gifts up until 5 p.m. on December 24th. So this holiday, just do as the Who's do. With gift delivery this fast, they all gasped. From Walmart, who knew? Subject to availability, terms and fees apply.
Welcome back. Blue Origin's New Shepard mission number 37 has announced its 6-member crew, and there is a remarkable first coming up that we absolutely have to highlight. NS-37 crew member Michaela, or Mitchie Benthouse, who is an aerospace and mechatronics engineer at ESA, also uses a wheelchair. And when she and the rest of the crew lift off to go above the Kármán line on December 18th from Van Horn, Texas, she will be the first person who uses a wheelchair to go to space. Benthouse has been using a wheelchair since 2018 when a mountain biking accident resulted in a spinal cord injury. But despite that, she kept on with her astronaut training, flying on a zero-G research flight in 2022, as well as participating in an analog astronaut research mission. Undoubtedly, her flight, as a milestone for space accessibility, will hopefully spur more conversation and action about opening up access to space for more people. Of that, she said this feels like an important step since space travel for people with disabilities is still in its very early days. I might be the first, but have no intention of being the last. And to that we heartily say, hear, hear, and bravo. And that's T-Minus, brought to you by N2K Cyberwire. We'd love to know what you think of this podcast. Your feedback ensures we deliver the insights that keep you a step ahead in the rapidly changing space industry. If you like the show, please share a rating and review in your podcast app. Please also fill out the survey in the show notes or send an email to space@n2k.com. We are proud that N2K Cyberwire is part of the daily routine of the most influential leaders and operators in the public and private sector, from the Fortune 500 to many of the world's preeminent intelligence and law enforcement agencies. N2K helps space and cybersecurity professionals grow, learn, and stay informed. As the nexus for discovery and connection, we bring you the people, the technology, and the ideas shaping the future of secure innovation. Learn how at n2k.com. N2K's senior producer is Alice Carruth. Our producer is Liz Stokes. We are mixed by Elliot Peltzman and Trey Hester, with original music by Elliot Peltzman. Our executive producer is Jennifer Iben. Peter Kilby is our publisher, and I am your host, Maria Varmazes. Thank you for listening. We'll see you tomorrow.
T-Minus.